So what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is LittleMarMan. We have another Der Eisendrache video. This one is of course about ciphers. I'm covering pretty much all the ciphers in Der Eisendrache on the channel, and yet another one is actually found and another one has been solved. But this one is definitely interesting. Like, Treyarch are getting a lot more sneaky with their ciphers. It's not just, oh, we put it into a cipher solver and then we get the cipher text that basically, or rather the plain text from the cipher text that we are actually looking for, that is going to provide us with some story information. Basically, now they are going with a lot of different complex routes where we basically have to find a cipher text around the map, and that is just going to be the cipher text, and then we have to find the key in different parts of the map, and that is essentially what they have done with this sort of cipher text, or rather this cipher, if you want to sort of group it all together. But basically, before we actually get into the information that we actually got from the cipher, I need to give a quick shout out to everyone over on CallOfDutyZombies.com, and in particular the ones that were commenting and bouncing around ideas and stuff on, of course, the thread that is linked down in the description below. It is the cipher thread, and basically we're trying to sort of account all the ciphers on this thread and basically solve them, then taking one problem at a time. And in particular, we need to have another shout out to, of course, Tack or Astro Zombie over there, who actually was the first to solve it, I believe. He solved it yesterday at about 6 PM for me. I'm not too sure about when that is for you or when you're actually watching this video, but nonetheless, then I actually didn't really know about this, so I did actually get sort of pointed in this direction. So another shout out to a follower of mine on Twitter, Craig Dawson. He actually messages me a lot of theories and different things that he finds around the map, and he actually sent on this over to me, and he was like, yo, basically this has been solved, this has been found, and this is actually how he did it. He actually did it as well, but I don't think he is actually like the first to post. He may have been the first to actually do it, but obviously he didn't actually post it, so it's sort of unaccounted for. But nonetheless, he actually showed me how it was done. So basically, let's get into the two cipher texts, or rather the key and the cipher text that is scattered around this map. So the key for this cipher is basically located in the fireplace in the speed color room, or the control room, or the church, whatever way you actually sort of announce that sort of part of the map. Basically, in the fireplace in that room, we basically have what is on screen. It is a list from A to Z with, of course, numbers on each line, and this didn't really make a lot of sense. Obviously, we sort of arranged the sort of elements on the periodic table before, and like a lot of people were throwing out that idea, but no, we actually need another part, like I was saying earlier, and this sort of key is actually located all the way down on the rocket launch pad, just off to the side, and basically it is a lot of numbers. So basically the two things that both of these have in common is the numbers, and the way to actually solve this is definitely simple when you actually sort of know the answer. But basically, like, I was frying my brain trying to solve this back a while ago when sort of was found the first time. Coming back then to the sheet that was actually in the fireplace, each letter corresponds to a 2-digit number, and we have a whole sequence of numbers on, of course, the second page, and basically it's all trial and error from here. You sub in a letter for each of those 2-digit codes that it corresponds to, and luckily it didn't take very long for people to actually get the message. And this is actually Craig Dawson's sort of breakdown of it, and basically, as you can see, the message that we get is mission log entry 45. I am over the site looking down through the open door. I can see a weird distortion below me like a localized aurora borealis. I would normally cancel the operation, but we don't have time. Luckily, I have taken experiment at weaponry version 3 that no one has seen before. From my previous mission, never say never. Peter. Now, this is really clear what this basically means to me, and a lot of people that have been playing Call of Duty Zombies since World at War or Black Ops 1, when Numa was actually remade and Verrückt was sort of remade. Or maybe if you didn't even start playing it in World at War season and you actually went back and messed around and had a look around the maps and did a bit of digging with the story, you would know straight away who Peter is. If not, Peter is actually Peter Mccain. He was an OSS spy sent to infiltrate Group 935. He originally worked undercover as a research assistant somewhere in Munich, but was then transferred to Verrückt, another Group 935 controlled facility, obviously a map that we actually play in back at World at War. And some of the Group 935 workers actually sort of found it a bit weird and were really suspicious of Peter, and basically his identity was then compromised, and a Marine recon team led by Tank Dempsey, this is back on of course the World at War Black Ops 1 timeline, but regardless it was led by Tank Dempsey, and they were actually sent to rescue him from Verrückt. But Mccain had actually escaped or been evacuated, hasn't really been known, and has somehow landed and was hanged in Shiina Numa. He's actually the hanging body in, of course, the map of Shiina Numa. And Dempsey was actually the only survivor of that recon team, and that recon team actually was the first original crew that we played in Nectar and Toten as. So there is a little history of Call of Duty Zombies. Peter was basically sort of found hung in Shiina Numa. Nothing was really said too much. There are a couple of radios which I actually do cover in a Shiina Numa story video. You can click the link on screen. I made it I think a year ago, so my voice is a bit different and the editing style and a few different things are a bit off towards sort of what I do now, but nonetheless all the information on radios is actually there. Definitely worth a look if you are sort of unfamiliar with this story. It is definitely a really cool one to tell, and basically there is a bit of a mystery actually behind him. Some people say he was actually hung, some people say he actually fell from an airplane because he has a parachute on his back. That could very well be the case, and of course this cipher would sort of back that up because he's looking down on Shiina Numa, where of course a bit of a element 115 meteorite was actually there, and basically Group 935 were working there harnessing its energy, and it would definitely suit this sort of cipher message. But nonetheless, let's take a look back over it. Mission log entry 45. I'm over the site looking down through the open door. I can see a weird distortion below me like a localized aurora borealis. I would normally cancel the operation, but we don't have time. Luckily I have taken experimental weaponry version 3, which I presume he's talking about a DG3 or some variant of a Group 935 weapon that no one has seen before from my previous mission. Never say never, Peter. And then obviously after this sort of message, Peter actually sort of crashed the airplane, or the zombies got to him, one or the other. Either way, he fell and landed in basically a hanging position in Shiina Numa. So we got a bit of a prelogue out of this cipher on Peter's story, but I'm assuming that this is chronological and actually falls right into place with the Peter story that we already know. So basically this took place, this is sort of his evacuation plan after Verrückt. It very well could be a different mission before it, and it could very well be a different Peter, but only time will tell. I presume there is more ciphers that we actually have to sort of decode, and only time will tell pretty much what this Peter story is. It's good that we got a bit more of a sort of backstory to it. There is a lot more to find, and of course I will be the first to bring it to you. So definitely do smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I do hope you all enjoyed this video. Maybe give it a like if you did enjoy and if you did learn something, and of course once again subscribe if you're new. I have a lot of storyline videos every single day, and that's pretty much it for this video. Peace out, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in another video very soon.